A good afternoon and welcome to the SLIAC championship game, as it is the Westminster Blue Jays staving off elimination multiple times yesterday and already once today to bring this deciding Game 7 of the SLIAC tournament, and the number 1 seed Webster Gorlocks 2-1 inside this tournament play, as they are looking for yet another conference championship, as they have won quite a few over the last handful of years, and Westminster looking for their first since 2017. James O'Sullivan, Tanner Hendrickson with you here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com. And Tanner, you were saying at the end of that first game of the day of the offense of Westminster is on another level right now.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. They've scored 43 runs over the last 24 hours, and they just keep on churning with the offense with another great performance in the last game where they were able to just continue to whack around the baseball. 14 runs in that game. We'll see if Webster can shut them down here as we get set for first pitch.
Cole Armbrust delivers the first pitch, and it's fouled away for strike one at 4:30.
Right on the dot for our first pitch there.
Troy Romero once again leading things off. He exited the game, I believe in the 8th inning with an injury, and he did seem to kind of be limping towards the box a little bit here, so we got to keep an eye on that as this game goes on.
Yeah, that's something to monitor because Romero's been one of the hottest bats in this tournament. Was really good in game one, was really good last night, and especially playing such a crucial position at short.
Breaking ball from Armbrust stays high. Colt is the freshman of the year inside the SLIAC. The 2-1 swung on and missed. Armbrust, 6-3 record. This is his 13th start of 4.75 ERA, 16 2/3 innings, 60 strikeouts, 21 walks. And that one's fouled away by Romero. The same Blue Jay lineup as we have seen all weekend long. Romero, Pekka, Montgomery, Schlegel, Warren, Ballard, Bowler, and Vigil are the 9 in the order for Coach Jourdain. Down the line and fouled. We'll do it again here, 2-2.
Armbrust, too, did make an appearance against Westminster in the regular season. They got him out of the game pretty quickly. Went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned.
Another 2-2 ties him up inside, and Armbrust picks up his first strikeout.
Nice pitch going in on the hands. A little two-seam action on it, looked like. And that's a perfect pitch. You got to pull those hands in, and it's tough on that fastball. And that's the way you want to start the game if you're Webster. Biggest key for them is the pitching. Can Armbrust shut down this on-fire lineup of Westminster?
I think a few of us up here were surprised that Armbrust did not get the ball in the 1 o'clock game, as that one's hit well into right. It's going to hang up and then die right in front of Moser, and it'll be a single for I.
I'm not sure if Mosier saw that right away, the way he kind of reacted, because I thought that ball was going to be catchable for him out there in right field, but he didn't really get a great jump on it. And then by the time he did, it just took him kind of everything he did to knock that down. It looks like we got maybe a pitch comm issue here.
That's Wroblewski, the catcher for Webster, over at their dugout. He has not caught for a while. He's been the DH most of these games with Groves behind the plate.
Give you an idea on the defensive alignment here for Webster in this one. Wroblewski's behind the plate with Armbrust on the mound. Hippus at third, Pellisser's at short, Hutchings at second, Wilt at first base. Then from left to right in the outfield, Hartz, Theodore, Mosier. See everything squared away. Nothing like hearing Coach's voice in your head.
Apparently someone forgot to change the batters. 1 on, 1 out for Pekka. One misses outside. 1-0.
4 RBIs in the last game, bringing Sparta's total up to 38.
As Pekka fouls that one off. Depending on who you talk to in this tournament, might feel like he's driven in 38 in this tournament alone. He has been on fire.
He has been a guy that they cannot get out.
The 1-1. That one misses outside. 2-1. On Bruce from a little bit on the first base side of the rubber. Off the hands. That's going to stay in play. Foul territory. And it will land cleanly on the grass. As we'll do it here at 2-2. As Pekka off the end of the bat, that mug's going to roll fair. It's going to be fair ball. Webster waited as long as they could. Both the home plate and first base umpire signaled fair at the exact same time once that ball was picked up. So it will be a single and one that went about 85 feet there for Aiden Pekka.
Well, the Gorloks head coach was satisfied with what the umpire said. Well, maybe not satisfied. I'm a little surprised when that ball was in fair territory why they didn't just pick it up and toss to first for the out, because then you guarantee, especially because early on that ball was fair, at least right on the line from what we could see here. Pick it up when you got plenty of time to throw to first. You can then get 2 outs even though you move I up to second. But instead they let that ball just kind of float around that line. They call it fair, and there's first and second with only 1 out. And Montgomery, who hit a home run in game 1.
I think it was foul, came back fair, and it was might have had spin trying to go foul again. And it was a called strike on Montgomery.
And the other thing, while you're a player and you're standing over top of the baseball, from your perspective, it might appear the ball is past that line, but from the umpire who's looking right on it, he can see if the side of the baseball is just on that chalk.
There's a called strike. 0-2. I believe there was something pretty much exactly like that in a Major League game not too long ago.
Westminster's dugout now gets a chance to chirp as they chirp the home plate umpire. Didn't like that call on the inside part of the plate on that changeup.
We wondered if they would have the voices after last night. They did for game 1.
Yep, they did for game 1, and they will be ready to go here in game 2.
0-2 in Montgomery. Bounces in there, gets away far enough that both runners are going to advance.
Boy, already not a clean top of the first for Webster. And you know the thing, if you're Westminster, you want to put the pressure on here early. You're the one playing with house money. You're the 5 seed. You didn't belong here in the championship game. You won game 1, and the team that's going to feel the pressure is the team that is the number 1 overall seed.
You could say they didn't belong here in O'Fallon to begin with.
Yep.
They had to go on the road in a quarterfinal. That one's down the line and right. That will hang up long enough for Mosier. Tagging and scoring will be I. And into third goes Pekka. A sac fly for Montgomery. Puts the Blue Jays on the board here in the first.
Yep, good productive at bat by Montgomery. It was second and third. You want to put the ball in play. That's going to at least result in a run-scoring RBI, and he did that with that line drive into right field. And had the catch been made by Moser, if he could have gotten that on target, would have made it at least potentially close, but the throw sailed well up that third base line.
7 years ago, a 5 seed wasn't even allowed in the tournament. It wasn't until COVID where they expanded it to 6 teams and added a quarterfinal.
Yeah, the last time we saw a team that was a 5 seed that got in because they had cut it down was way back in 1999.
At that time, they allowed 8, then they cut it down to just 4, and now they have it at 6. The Schlegel fly ball, foul territory, left side, over towards that bullpen, and it's going to land on top of the mound and go foul. And back in '99, it was the 5-seed Blue Jays of Westminster that got the tournament title against a 7-seeded Webster.
Yeah, well, something you wouldn't see today, which is a 17, let alone if it were 17, it would be Webster for how good this program's been going.
Like 18, 19 years they've had at least a share of.
Been an incredible run by the Gorlocks.
The 0-2 to Schlegel is taken outside for ball one. Right now, if you keep this guy in the ballpark, you consider it a win.
Yeah, he's been hot, and he had another just bomb to right center in game one.
On the ground, that one's going to sneak on through, and Schlegel stays hot again with a fist pump towards his dugout. And it's a 2-0 lead here for the Blue Jays in the first.
Well, that single that they decided not to pick up from Pekka looms large because he's that second run of the inning coming home. And we're going to have a mound visit come out now, as Webster's going to try and settle down Armbruster on the mound. Calm down the freshman of the year. He's given up 3 hits. He's already up to 21 pitches.
And obviously he has definitely been one of the top 3 guys in this rotation all year long. But do you question keeping your freshman for the biggest game of the year? And maybe it's a little bit too big of a moment.
Yeah, I don't mind saving your best, who you deem your best arm, for the final game potentially of the conference tournament, because your hope would be that your other arms can take care of business beforehand.
And they did on Thursday and Friday.
Well,
with the other top 2 guys you have.
And to be fair, it's not like their starter was awful in the last game either. He kind of fell apart the later he got, but it was his first start of the year.
Well, it was the first 2 times through the lineup, he just gave up I believe it was 1 run.
Yep.
First pitch taken in the dirt by Warren. That one's in the air out to right. Moser's been busy here in this first inning. He's going to run this one down to finish off a first inning, which was another successful first inning for the Blue Jays, as they are able to get 2 runs on 3 hits. They do leave a runner on, but a 2-0 lead for the Blue Jays after a half inning here on SLIAC TV. Derek Archer gets the ball yet again for the Blue Jays after he left the game yesterday with the lead. He probably thought his season was over with, or at least his tournament was over with, but no, he gets the ball here in the deciding game. He went 7 innings through 104 pitches against Spalding, and here he is just over 24 hours later.
Yeah, we'll see. The bullpen's already throwing for Westminster, so my guess is this is the hope of, okay, We'll strike first offensively, which they did, and then we'll see if he is just to face the top 3 of the order, maybe top 5. Maybe they just want him to go one turn through.
That one misses. It's 3-0.
And you know that arm is sore from throwing 104 pitches, so see how quickly he can get loose, how loose he was able to get in warm-ups.
There's a called strike. Except you know he told Coach Jourdain and the pitching coach this morning that I feel good, I can give you an inning.
Yeah, and then the conversation is he hits the first batter he sees, or maybe it was ball 4.
I think they're going to call it ball 4 as Theodore thought about racing down there, but Vigil quickly pounced on it.
And then once the question is, okay, I'm good to go, then the question becomes, okay, well, do we want to go with him as a reliever for maybe an inning, or do we want to have him go inning or a couple innings as a starter? And their decision was, let's have him start the game.
There was a breaking ball for a called strike. The 0-1 inside, 1-1.
You can already tell he's searching for his release point, so it probably could be the arm so sore is kind of dropping the arm angle a little bit on him.
Gets a swing and a miss there, 1-2.
I believe Jack Page is warming up in the bullpen. Sophomore righty from Las Vegas for Westminster.
And he started and threw over 100 pitches last night in the game against Lyon. He pitched twice yesterday.
So all hands on deck for Westminster. As you would expect in an elimination game, a game that determines the fate of your season.
I would expect to see Taden Harlow at one point in this game as well. I don't think he's pitched since Thursday. That one's a fly ball into right. Caught there by Montgomery for the first out.
Yeah, to your point on Page, who's playing catch in the pen for Westminster. In the start against Lyon last night, 6 innings in the rain, 5 hits, 2 earned, 9 strikeouts, 99 pitches.
He was good yesterday. And we were surprised, at least I was surprised to see him on the lineup sheet for that game because I saw him pitch earlier in the day. It was before you got here, but then you looked it up, he threw 11 pitches in 2 innings, so it makes sense that he was still, fresh enough to go out and do what he did. But just like Archer, 100 pitches and 24 hours later, he's going to be back on the mound. Another fly ball. Schlegel going back in foul territory over the shoulder. Just can't run it down. It's been about 5 of those that Schlegel's had to try and run down this weekend.
Yeah, plenty of foul territory over there. Tough play. Try and make that snag.
Just out of view of our camera, but there is quite a bit of foul ground. You can see it from home plate back to the bottom of your screen how much foul ground it is, and it just expands as you go down the line.
He may have broken his sunglasses, too.
Uh-oh. Going to need those.
I think that's what they handed him in the Westminster dugout.
The 0-1. Just a little bit high, 1-1. And we saw it in the game on Thursday when the sun was actually out. That game got late. It started to be a problem for shortstop and left field just as the pitch was being delivered. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that as this game progresses.
Will be around probably 8 o'clock tonight would be my guess.
Yeah,
so you're probably talking about around 7:30, which will be about near the end of this game in theory, where it could become a bit of an issue for the shortstop and left fielder.
The 1-2. That's chopped on the ground. Romero waits for it, gets the high hop. Strong arm across. Schlegel has his foot on the base for the out.
Yeah, good job by Romero to just kind of let that one bounce to him. Even if he charges that, there's probably no chance they end up turning 2. Just not hit hard enough. Do the job and get the guy at first.
And it brings in Nick Wroblewski. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the Webster first. That one misses up high. Takes a look, the 1-0. Breaking ball, pops him up. Right at Romero, shading from the sun. And with 2 hands, makes the play to retire the side. He gives up a walk to the leadoff man. But Archer able to get through that inning unscathed. No hits and a runner left on. We go to the second here on SLIAC TV. Armbru's back to work to start this second inning, as he will face the bottom 3 of the order with Ballard, Bowler, and Vigil. Ballard and Bowler have been swinging a hot bat, but I think at this point it's kind of safe to say everyone in this lineup has been swinging a pretty hot bat.
Name a guy that's not. Been on an unbelievable run. They've scored the most runs ever in a SLIAC conference tournament.
0-2.
If Armbru's can find that breaking ball, that would be big for him. He's got the 2-seamer moving a little bit. I think he's got a little bit of a change up there as well. Looking for that third pitch.
Breaking ball, oh, just stayed high.
Boy, that one did not miss by much, if it missed.
That's fouled away. We'll do it again here, 1-2. Up and in, 2-2.
Boy, that screams setup pitch, doesn't it? Fastball up and in, curveball low and away.
After he just missed with the curveball earlier, there's another one that just misses high on.
Missed it. Missed where he wanted that, because he definitely was thinking at least going low with that curveball, but that one popped out of the hand. He's had a couple of those here so far in his outing.
He almost go fastball low and away here. He does, and it's fouled off. Three-two, breaking ball stays high.
That's the pitch when he starts to fall behind in the count. He's probably going to have to abandon it if he can't figure it out here soon, because you don't want to be allowing multiple base runners here in this game against Westminster. How hot their bats are swinging it.
That one's on the corner for a strike.
They adjusted their outfield alignment there for a split second.
That one's inside for ball one. Pretty much straight away right now on Bowler. There's a called strike, 1-2.
Already up to 34 pitches. He could use some quick outs here.
And a throw over. Ballard gets back safely. Really have not seen Westminster run a whole lot.
At least I haven't. I haven't seen every game of the tournament, but I haven't seen a lot of guys really run in this tournament.
Westminster stole 117 bases through the quarterfinal. That one's going to be down the line and right. You don't have to steal when you can put one in the gap and over the wall, as Ballard will head into the third. Runners on the corners. No one out here in the Westminster second.
Boy, you have to wonder if Webster might start to get the pin up pretty soon here, because don't want to go too long with Armbruster if he doesn't have it, because you do not want Westminster to pull away early in this game. You want to keep this within striking distance. They need the freshman of the year to kind of settle in here.
It was at 7-3 for a few innings in game one, and I was thinking that might be enough for Webster to climb back in, and then Westminster just kept adding on those last, 3 innings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they put up that 6 spot in the 6th and got to 7-3, thought, okay, maybe you got a chance, and then they gave up 4 in the 7th, and that really put it out of reach.
Vigil swings through that one, 0-2. There's been a few times where I think you have mentioned in a situation like this of a possible bunt with Vigil, but he has yet to square around in any situation.
And just a 102 hitter on the season, but he did his job in game 1. He drove in 2.
Swings through that one, a strikeout for Armbruster, his second.
And that's a big strikeout, because now it brings up Romero, and you can see Romero limping a little bit maybe to the box, so he might be a little compromised. It looks like he's got a wrap around that right leg. So if he hits something on the ground hard, doesn't have to hit it particularly hard, you might be able to turn 2.
I'm surprised that it's been a lot of Vigil here in the postseason. I don't know if that's might be more defensive thinking of coaches think he's the better receiver of the ball, and they'll give up the possible offense. 'Cause I saw them last weekend against Greenville, and I think we saw Crabtree in 2 of the 3 games. We really have not seen Crabtree in this weekend at all.
Yeah,
1-1.
Could be defense, because a lot of teams, really you see it at the major leagues, they really value the defense from the catcher.
And when the team's swinging like they are, you can have a one spot in the order that might not swing it as well. That one's flown out to right. Moser's been super busy early on. It's going to be another sac fly as Romero will drive in a run. It's a 3-0 lead for Westminster.
Good at-bat by Romero. Just does his job, gets it up in the air and deep enough to bring home the run, and Westminster adds on 3-0. And I'll say this, that's the first time we've really seen Romero run. He's definitely compromised with that right leg. So that is something to keep an eye on as the game goes along.
But he is a senior, and there's no way he was going to miss possibly his final collegiate game. That one bounces in front and gets over Wroblewski. And back to the screen, so it will be a wild pitch and a runner on second now with 2 down.
Boy, we'll see if that comes back to haunt Webster, because now you put the runner in scoring position. I don't know what happened exactly there. He got kind of handcuffed on what he wanted to do to try to block it. It looked like maybe he first thought about just trying to pick it off the hop, and then he tried to kind of slide over, and he slid over too late.
As that one gets away, the throw goes down to third. The tag in time for the out. That got away from Wroblewski, but not quite far enough. I thought he could advance, but he gets thrown out trying to head to third, 2-5. There, a good arm by Wroblewski just to the right of home plate to get the out on that one. We've played an inning and a half. It is 3-0 Westminster. Bottom of the second, Webster will have Hippis, Hertz, and Wielt coming up here as they trail by 3 early on in this deciding game of the SLIAC Baseball Championship. That one misses inside, and it kind of looked like Archer looked back at our home plate umpire wondering where that pitch missed.
Barnett could be because he missed. Did Vigil behind the plate.
Missed another one there. It's 2-0.
Nope. Got away with walking the leadoff man in the first. Don't want to do it again, though, if you're Archer.
Gets a strike there, 2-1. Out to center. Hit well. Going back on this one, Pekka. Plenty of room in front of the track. Makes the play for out number 1.
Well, thought he struck it well. The tough part for him, though, is he hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. If he pulls that one, he could have been trotting around the bases, but hit it to dead center, and it's an easy fly out for the first out.
Bring in Ryan Hartz. Jams them. Ground ball right back to Archer. Picks it up. Flips on to first for a quick out number 2.
Saw Webster in game 1 get the leadoff man 5 times out of 9 tries, but they only scored a run twice in those occasions. Don't want to flirt with that danger again if you're Westminster. That's why it's a good job by Archer to get the first 2 here.
And a first pitch swinging base hit by Wielt into right. First hit for the Gorlocks.
See, maybe the bottom of the order can get something going. Bottom of the order scored 5 runs for Westminster in the first game.
Talon Hutchings to the plate. There's a called strike. The 0-1. Up the middle. Hutchings with a single. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs.
Well, what makes this interesting is no one throwing in the pen. We mentioned it. They had an arm up in the bullpen earlier in the first inning, but Westminster sat that arm down.
And it brings in Charlie Pelliser. There's a called strike on the corner.
Got to get Pelliser here if you are Archer. Got to take advantage of the lighter hitting shortstop who hits .240 on the season.
Yeah, would not want to load the bases for Theodore. Hit well into center, coming in. Pekka a few steps, makes the play to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We've played 2. It's 3-0 Westminster. Tanner will tell you about the third when we get back here on SLIAC TV.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Heart of the order coming up here for Westminster as we start the top of the third. Tanner Hendrickson here with you with my partner James O'Sullivan. As we'll see Braden I come up to lead things off. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. 3-0 Blue Jays on top. Winner of this one is crowned SLIAC Conference champion and gets an automatic bid to regionals. Just to continue their postseason as the 0-1 is hit out of play to the left side.
In the past, Webster has hosted a regional, but we found out last night they did not put in a bid to host, so they will definitely have to go on the road, and Westminster, no doubt, would be going on the road.
The 0-2 misses high, 1-2. Westminster, a very unlikely story to be potential team to advance to regionals, below 500 on the year. Even after their latest win, they are 20-25 on the season. That one missed away, 2-2.
They'd have to win this and make a run to the World Series to actually get above 500, or at least make a run into the Super Regionals.
Yeah. 2-2, pitch on the way. Line drive up the middle for a base hit. Boy, these bats are on fire right now as I is aboard with a leadoff single to start things here in the third. Well, you know how it goes. At some point, when everybody's hot at the same time, everybody will go cold at the same time, but it's not going to happen potentially here in the SLIAC championship game as Aiden Pekka comes to bat now. Pekka's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored.
Obviously, you wouldn't want that to happen next weekend, but I'm sure they'd rather have it happen next weekend and have the memory of a
100%.
championship run that they had here.
His first pitch was a breaking ball in for a strike from Armbruster.
Well, the saying is hitting is contagious, and Westminster's the proof of that.
0-1, ground ball up the middle. This could be 2. 6-4-3, double play, twin killing. Pelliser to Hutchings to Wielt, and the leadoff singles erased, 2 away here in the third.
First double play we've seen turned today on a true ground ball. We just see a line drive turn into a double play, but that's a little bit different. But there was a few chances, I think, for Webster earlier today, and just a little bit of a bobble made it not possible, but that one played cleanly and exactly what Armbruster needed.
Brings up Brett Montgomery. RBI sac fly, his first plate appearance. Hit a home run in game 1. And a line drive over that big wall in right field. Thought about it, but lays off. They'll check at third. No swing, says our third base umpire, who was our home plate umpire in game 1. 2-0.
I would think it's the same 3 guys. Seen a little bit of a rotation here this weekend, but you would think on this day with this game not necessarily being known.
That one missed in, 3-0. Well, after you get the double play, you don't want to walk the next guy on 4 pitches.
Especially now with the man standing on deck.
Schlegel's been one of the hottest hitters in the tournament, and that's what he does. 4-pitch walk, and here comes that man again.
I think you said that last night.
It's Cameron Schlegel.
He stands up on top of the plate, daring you to throw inside, and
then what do? He pulls the hands in and goes the pull side. First pitch to Schlegel's on the way. He'll take that in the dirt. This one's going to get away, and the wild pitch will move the runner into scoring position as Montgomery got a great jump after that pitch bounced in the dirt.
Yeah, he certainly did. That one didn't necessarily get that far away. It did get away, but kept relatively close. But as you said, it was the jump from Montgomery that got him into second. Westminster's been aggressive on anything in the dirt.
And we're going to see a meeting now, and this is to buy some time. Webster's going to send an arm down to start getting loose in the bullpen. As jogging down to the left field line, there's where the bullpen is for the Gorlocks. Wes Carter is starting to get loose. The right-handed junior from Hoover, Alabama, second-team all-conference member, starts to play catch in the bullpen. He'll start to warm up in a hurry. Again, you want to keep this game in reach if you're the Gorlocks. Can't let this get out of hand early.
I was kind of looking this morning on some of the Webster guys that we haven't seen or haven't seen a whole lot of. And it was Armbruster and Carter, kind of the two that I thought would be the first two we see get the ball today. It will be, because not necessarily a game I expected it to be.
He is warming up in a hurry down there. The 1-0. Oh, nice change up way out in front with Schlegel on that one.
And we were talking about Schlegel and daring you to pitch inside, but he's a good hitter. We've seen him take some low outside pitches, keep the bat through the zone, and drive it up the middle.
1-1's the count. Pitches low, 2-1. Schlegel, like you said, taking it up the middle. His RBI single was that in the first. 2-1.
Might be a safe bet that he'll be a member of the all-tournament team.
That one's in the dirt. Nice block this time around by Robleski. Now you got to be careful. Can't groove one down the middle here. 3-1.
Yeah, this is the count where you're looking for something directly in your zone to hit 500 feet.
3-1 on the way. Schlegel was swinging for the fences, but he was fooled by another changeup, and the count goes full 3-2.
And we know it's the dugout that's calling them, but what a smart pitch call there. Have the same motion as the fastball, and that's exactly what Schlegel was swinging at.
See if they'll do it again. 3-2 pitch on the way. Pulled to the right side, and it gets right to the first baseman, Wilt, who will field his position well, jog to the bag, and step on the pillow for the third and final out. A walk and a single in the inning, but no runs come across the score for the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Westminster's on top here on SLIAC TV.
I'm a softball player here at Webster, and we put some care packages together for some servicemen. And as a family member of a service member, it's very important to me that they get the recognition they need, because they're so away from their family and friends, and it's just really important for them to know that they have a support system outside of just their family and friends, and that us as a nation, we really care about them and support them.
Getting ready here to start the home half of the third as James Theodore will lead things off. Theodore with a walk in his first plate appearance. Pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0.
Maybe a little surprised to see Archer back out there, because now it's his second time through the lineup.
But he's just at 27 pitches, so maybe just continue to ride him out there. As that one is up and in, 2-0.
But between his two outings yesterday, threw 113. So.
But it's one of these where in the conference tournament, you just keep going, 2-1. Two-one pitch, misses high, 3-1. Surprising part, though, is not so much for me that Archer's back out there. I expect as long as the arm feels good, he'll keep going. 3-1's on the way. This one is hit high in the air to the right field corner, but foul out of play. Surprising part for me is that no one's playing catch in the Westminster bullpen. Just to be on the safe side because, like you said, he's at basically 131 pitches at this point. This command could go at any point. 3-2, nice breaking ball there as it's hit to short, but it's going to be bobbled by Romero. And Theodore will reach on the air to start things here in the home half of the third.
Yeah, that's something we have not seen this weekend. A booted ball by Romero. He has been as clean as they come out there at short. Maybe just try to rush it a little bit, knowing the speed of Theodore.
Yeah, defensively, Westminster's been one of the best teams I've seen here in the tournament, but that time around, mistake was made. First pitch to Adam Mosier misses low for a ball, 1-0. Mosier fly to right in his first plate appearance.
And we'll see if Theodore goes running at all.
Theodore's got pretty good speed over there at first base. The 1-0's on the way. Breaking ball misses high. It's 2-0.
I think yesterday we wondered if Theodore could be running in a situation like this, and Mosier said, I'm just going to hit one over the fence, so no one has to run.
Theodore, 28 stolen bases on the season. 2-0. Ground ball hit to short. Can they turn two? Romero goes to second, but he throws it away. And it's going to allow for Theodore to advance to third. Back-to-back errors by the shortstop. And there's runners at the corners now and nobody out. And a big inning potentially starting to brew here for the Gorlocks.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Romero to go far to his right to be able to get to that ball, and falling backwards, just trying to get the out at second. Threw that one a little bit wide of Ballard.
See if Mosier will be going at first base now as Dalton Groves comes to bat the DH. He grounded short his first at bat line. Drive, fair ball down to the right field. It will kick off that sidewall. Rounding first and digging for second is Groves. The throw will come in. The tag will not be in time as he slides in head first. It's an RBI double, and the Gorlocks are on the board. It's 3-1.
Maybe a little bit of a break for Westminster that actually hit the wall and jet it back out. Because if that went all the way into the corner, Mosier's going to be able to score, and you might have had Groves over at third.
And time is called as we're going to see a meeting on the mound. No one has been playing catch in the bullpen for Westminster, but this might buy them some time to get somebody up and throwing.
It's a good throw by Montgomery. You were almost able to get Groves diving into second.
Yeah, that throw did not miss him by much. No one getting loose, though, for Westminster, which is a little surprising. Second and third, nobody out. As Robleski comes to bat next, once they break up this mound visit. Like you pointed out, it's second time through, but to be honest, Archer should at least have one out, right? That first ground ball to shortstop to lead off this inning that was dropped by Romero. That one should have definitely been an out. Who knows what would have happened if he gets the first out on that ground ball from Mosier. It's probably hit actually right to.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Because he was playing more double play depth. He had to range a little bit more to his left, did Romero.
Yeah, you said that perfectly. He's in a different defensive alignment on the Mosier ground ball if that first out is recorded.
Robleski up, popped out to short his first plate appearance. He barely gets a piece of that one on the first pitch. So he gets ahead 0-1, which is a nice start in an AB. 0-1 pitch on the way in the dirt. Nice block by Vigil. Got to have faith in the catcher to block it behind home plate with a runner at third. You want to make the Gorlocks earn bringing home that run, not give it to them on a wild pitch or pass ball.
You got the defense playing back. Probably a smart idea just to make sure you get an out and try to limit as much of a big inning as possible.
Another one that was in the dirt that was blocked by Vigil.
Obviously more range for the defense, especially the middle infielders playing back rather than coming up.
2-1. Now someone has started to throw in the Westminster pin. 2-1 pitch on the way. Nice breaking ball swung on and missed. 2-2.
He's had a few swings that he's gotten Webster with like that.
2-2. Strikeout would be big here with nobody out. 2-2 on the way. And this is going to be a line drive into center field, getting a late break on him, but getting back is Pekka to make the catch for out number one. Both runners will tag. It will bring home a run, and it makes it 3-2 on the sacrifice fly from Robleski.
Now you'll take that if you're Westminster. Yes, you got both guys to advance, but you were able to get an out.
It's 3-2 our score. Reed Hippis comes to bat, and before he does, we'll see a pitching change. So Westminster will go to the bullpen. We'll see who they're bringing on. I believe Jack Page was the one that was playing catch down there. Pitching changes coming up. We'll step aside. We'll tell you about it when we come back here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life.
New pitcher on the mound here for Westminster as they are going to turn to the sophomore, Tayden Harlow from St. Charles, Missouri. Pitched just down the road from here. As the first pitch from the new righty, breaking ball in there for a strike. Harlow making his 21st appearance of the season, 7.30 ERA, 1.74 whip, and 24 2/3 innings pitched. He's made 2 starts as well this season. As the 0-1 pitch is on the way, goes back to the breaking ball, misses outside. Reed Hippis is the first man to face him. Archer went 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. He is responsible for the runner at third. 1-1, swing and a miss. 1 and 2. 3 straight breaking balls out of the pen.
I think we only saw Harlow on Thursday. I don't believe we saw him yesterday at all in the 2 games. I'm not surprised to see him here. Probably a guy that can give you some bulk innings.
1-2 misses outside.
Though it's been a lot of baseball, could be completely wrong.
2-2 on the way, goes back to the breaking ball, but misses outside. Full count, 3-2 with 1 out. Tying runs at third base. 3-2 pitch on the way, goes back to the breaking ball, skied on the infield. Who's going to catch it? Vigil calls for it, ditches the mask, and makes the catch, nearly falling down in the process.
Yeah, he was calling for it right away. He did a nice job picking up where that ball was as soon as it went up. But he was getting no help from either I or Schlegel coming in. And then he ended up having to backpedal into fair territory to make that play.
And it brings up Ryan Hartz now. First pitch. This one's hit well. Left center field. Do they have enough room? And they do, as it's caught by Bowler out there by the warning track for the third and final out. Good work by Harlow to come in with a runner at third and only one out, and he doesn't allow him to score. So Westminster hangs on to the lead as we go to the top of the fourth. 3-2 Blue Jays on top on SLIAC TV. Caleb Warden leads things off here in the top of the fourth. 3-2 is our score. Westminster's on top. As the first pitch on the way here. On the corner for a strike.
Warren didn't really appreciate that corner being called.
I did not see where the coach is in the Westminster dugout. I don't think he would have enjoyed it either. A one breaking ball. That's a strike as well. It's 0-2. The Westminster coach is in the third base coach's box. A little bit harder for him to argue. 0-2 pitch on the way. Fired outside, 1-2.
Why not keep inching out there, see what you can get called?
Armbruster is still out there on the mound as he's starting his fourth inning here. But the bullpen is up and ready to go as this one is hit high into the air to left field. Shielding his eyes from the sun, and the catch will be made by Hartz out there and left for out number one here in the fourth.
And nice job by Hartz to trek back on that one. Shield his eyes from the sun and able to make that play. Kind of saw Bowler having the same issue to end the bottom of the third.
Brings up Benno Ballard now. Ballard walked in his first plate appearance and scored. Takes the first pitch on the inside part of the plate for a strike. A 1 on the way. Nice breaking ball, swung on and missed. 0-2. Now we'll have to paddle. Maybe Armbruster maybe starting to settle in now. 0-2 on the way, goes back to a breaking ball. He hung that one as it gets hit out of play. So we'll do 0-2 again. That was pitch number 67.
Yeah, but that third inning was a lot more of what you expect out of Colt.
It's a foul ball as that was fouled off of his shin there. Self-inflicted wound for Ballard. He wants a new baseball, didn't like that one. 0-2. This one's hit in the air. Shallow right field. Coming in is the right fielder as Moser camps underneath and makes a catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down to start things here in the top of the 4th, and it brings up the left fielder now, Donovan Bowler. Bowler comes up. Singled in his first plate appearance. Got too aggressive, though. Caught trying to get to third on a pitch that got away from the catcher. First pitch swinging. Fouls it straight back. So 0-1. Next pitch misses for a ball, 1-1 as the count evens up. Again, winner of this gets an automatic bid into regionals, which start next week. 1-1 on the way. Change up misses low and in, 2-1's the count. Fascinating part about this matchup, Webster swept the regular season series 3-0. Won the first game between these teams in the semis. This misses inside. So they were 4-0 against Westminster coming into today, and then dropped the first game and currently trail 3-2 here in the top of the 4th. The 3-1 pitch on the way. This one's ripped into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 2-hit day for Bowler as he takes the 3-1 pitch into right center. And it's a 2-out single to extend things to Ryan Vigil.
He continues to swing a good bat out of that 8-hole.
And I wonder if this will be the last batter that Armbruster sees. Because Romero waits on deck, and that would be the beginning of the third time through the batting order. And we know about that third time penalty. First pitch bounces, and another wild pitch as that's going to get away and roll into the dugout. So we'll put the runner at second base.
And he was getting second either way, so it doesn't really matter that it got to the dugout.
We've seen Armbruster bounce a couple.
And Wroblewski's having a hard time keeping it close.
I've got that as the 4th wild pitch for Armbruster, excuse me. One 1-0 pitch on the way. Check swing. They check it first. Didn't go, says the first base umpire. So it's 2-0. Knows the count. Vigil come through and drive in a run here. Fooled by that breaking ball as he bends at the knees, catches the zone, 2-1. Again on deck waits Troy Romero, top of the order. Two 2-1 on the way. Fastball just missed, 3-1. Looked like a good pitch from here. Can't lose the 9-hole hitter. 3-1. Pitch on the way, and he fires a fastball high, ball 4. Gave up a 2-out single, then walks Vigil, the 9-hole hitter. And I am surprised they're going to let him face Romero.
And Coach Kirk has not hesitated coming out of the dugout when he's going to take a guy out. There's been times where he has kind of met the ball back out at the mound.
So, interesting decision here.
Might just be just trying to get him through this 4th inning and start fresh with your reliever.
First pitch in there for a strike.
Except if it is still Wes Carter down there, he only started 1 game, so he's used to coming out of the bullpen and possibly coming on with men on.
Pick off attempt at second, back in safely. I'm not sure if that's still him down there or not.
I believe it is.
Yep, it is Wes Carter. So surprising that They didn't make the move, although he's gotten ahead 0-1. Romero is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and then he did hit a sac fly his last plate appearance. 0-1, nice pitch there. Tails back into the zone. It's 0-2. Now Romero's got a battle.
And I wonder if also Romero not necessarily being 100% healthy.
Could play a factor too, yeah.
You know, if he puts one on the ground, you expect him not to be really running all that hard.
0-2. Bruce looking for his third strikeout. 0-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt. It gets away. Both runners going to be able to know. One runner will advance. And the reason for that, Bowler didn't see where the baseball was for a second, so he waited a little bit longer, and Vigil had to wait behind, and by the time that Bowler got moving, Vigil decided to stay put. So missed opportunity there to put two runners in scoring position. Have to wonder, by the way, the decision to put Wrobleski behind home plate here in this one. I know it's kind of warmer, but Groves did take a foul tip late in that game. Wonder if he's feeling a little sore from that as he DHs in this game. 1-2, and this one is stroked well into right center field, but getting over there to make the catch is Mosier for the third and final out. Armbruce left two runners on base as we go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-2, Westminster's on top here on SLIAC TV.
I'm a softball player here at Webster, and we put some care packages together for some servicemen. And as a family member of a service member, it's very important to me that they get the recognition they need because they're so away from their family and friends. And it's just really important for them to know that they have a support system outside of just their family and friends, and that us as a nation, we really care about them and support them.
First team Yeshivia. As we get ready to start the home half of the fourth, will be bottom of the order coming up here for the Gorlocks. Ethan Wilt will be the one that leads things off. Wilt, Hutchings, and then Pelliser. Wilt 1 for 1 with a single in his first plate appearance. Harlow's back out to pitch here. That misses outside. On the way. Missed outside, ball 3.
Harlow just having a hard time finding the zone. Was able to get out of the third, coming in relief.
3-0. This time he gets the zone for a strike, 3-1. Final line for Derek Archer, the starter for Westminster. Went 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs. None of them were earned. 1 walk, no strikeouts. 3-1 on the way. Breaking ball, misses low, ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk.
And that might do it.
Yep, and there's the call to the bullpen. So they signal to the pen, so we got a pitching change coming up. We'll tell you about it when we come back here on SLIAC TV. New pitcher on the mound here for Westminster, as they will turn to the right-handed sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada. Jack Page is on the mound. Page started yesterday in their blowout win over Lyon. He threw 99 pitches in that contest as he had a quality start, 6 innings, only 2 earned runs allowed, struck out 9, 5 hits. Squaring to bunt and pulling back. They'll check it first. Didn't go around. So interesting, they had Talon Hutchings squaring to lay down a bunt on that first pitch.
There's been times that we've wondered about scoring around the bunt and haven't seen it.
Showed it again, takes it low again, 2-0. I would have thought if they were going to have someone try it, it would be Pelliser who's on deck. He's a 240 hitter. They want Hutchings to try and lay it down. See if that changes to head 2-0. Yep, didn't lay it square around that time as he takes a fastball at the letters for a strike. Hutchings a 366 hitter on the season. Over 1,000 OPS in 37 games played. 2-1, squares the bunt again, and he gets a beautiful bunt down the third base line, fielded by I, tossed to first for the first out. Good defensive play and a good job by Hutchings to get the bunt down, so it moves the tying run into scoring position.
So really nice bunt put down there, and even a better play made by I to charge and make that play over on the run.
That brings up Pelliser now. First pitch to Pelliser misses high. Pelliser flied out to center in his first plate appearance. As I said, he's a 240 hitter on the season coming into today. Trying to come through and tie this game up at 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Takes a fastball high, 2-0. Don't want to walk the 9-hole hitter and flip things back to the top for Theodore. 2-0 pitch on the way, and he swings and skies this one. Infielders shading their eyes, and it's the third baseman that will make the catch. Eye shields his eyes and makes the catch.
That one wrote itself.
There's 2 away now, and it brings up James Theodore. Theodore's 0 for 1, reached on an error his last plate appearance, walked in the first, came around to score on that error in the third. Theodore, first team all-conference outfielder. First pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Vigil, a nice block. Vigil's had to make a couple of blocks. He's not let a wild pitch get by, unlike on the other side, where there's already been 4 from the Gorlocks. This one's going to be smoked into right center field. This one's carrying into the gap. Diving effort. Oh, what a catch in center by Pekka as he robs him of a hit. It would have been a game-tying RBI, maybe even a triple if he doesn't make the catch. But Pekka keeps Westminster on top as we go to the top of the 5th. Wow, put that one on SportsCenter's top 10. 3-2 Westminster. James will tell you about the 5th when we come back.
Braden I will lead things off. Pair of singles for I so far in this one. Armbruster still on the mound for the Gorlocks. First pitch to him is in there for a called strike, just catching the outside corner.
Well, you couldn't ask for better timing for a coach to disagree on a call. Westminster's head coach was jogging to the third base coach's box, saw that pitch as he was going behind home plate and disagreed with it.
I on a ground ball to second. Up and over is Hutchings for the out. And we'll see if the hero of the time being, Pekka, can come through here in the fifth.
Boy, how often we see a player make a great defensive play lead to something really good happening offensively.
I thought that I was going to save it for when he actually did something offensively. But I normally always say it at that point too, so. There's a called strike. By far the play of the tournament there for Aiden Pekka. Washington, Missouri native. Slices that one foul, 0-2. And only a junior is Pekka. He's been a handful in this tournament, offensively and defensively. Outside, 1-2. Down low there, 2-2. Breaking ball stays high. Pekka works it full. Staying alive. Nice play by Montgomery on the on-deck circle. Bobbles it off the fence, but able to make the play still. They're making great plays all over the place. The 3-2. And again, Pekka fouls it off. We have seen this offense fight off a lot of pitches.
Yeah, they've just not been an easy out at the plate. Time to get to 2 strikes, they stay alive, and sometimes they'll put a ball in play that just finds a hole.
Just like that. Oh, no hole found, but putting the ball in play there and gets a line drive out to second.
They did a good job to stay back. He was kind of fooled on that. He started to leak forward a little bit, but able to keep the hands through the zone, and he struck it pretty well. He barreled it. Like you said, he hit it, and they just happened to hit it right to the second baseman, Hutchings.
Brings in Montgomery. No official at bat yet for him. And now he's got himself a single. He had a sac fly and a walk. And now the single here in the fifth with 2 down. Schlegel 1 for 2 with an RBI single.
Boy, you really didn't want to get to see Schlegel here in this inning, especially with a runner on, because he could put a crooked number on the board.
This is low and in, ball 1. Seven hits for the Blue Jays with 2 outs in the fifth. Out in front of that one is Schlegel, 1-1.
That's the pitch that's giving him fits here against Armbruster, is that changeup. He's been out in front of that a couple of times here today.
Chopping to Hutchings at second. And he'll make the play over at first to retire the side. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We go bottom of the fifth. Still 3-2 Westminster here on SLIAC TV.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Adam Mosier will lead things off for Webster here in inning number 5. Jack Page with his first full inning of work. Throws a first pitch strike, came out of the bullpen. Then got 3 straight outs after a walk handed out by Harlow before he was lifted. Ended up swinging a miss there, 0-2. Mosier, Groves, and Wroblewski.
He was swinging for the tie right there.
Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. As Mosier goes down looking.
Jack Page looks fine after throwing a
Yeah.
lot. That didn't seem to slow him down at all.
It's like he does it all the time. First pitch taken for a ball. To Groves, who has an RBI double back in the 3rd. A pair of errors helped lead to Webster's 2 runs. There's a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, if not for those 2 errors, I mean, they probably wouldn't have a run yet. They've only just got 3 hits so far.
And Page has a breaking ball working. There's another great breaking ball there, 1-2.
Yeah, right on cue. He puts in a beautiful bending ball.
Action continues in that Webster bullpen. Another breaking ball fouled off. Again, 1-2.
Westminster's got some guys that are just kind of getting loose slowly. Wouldn't even say they're warming up. They're just kind of going through the motions and tossing.
Although Carter's been standing on the mound out there for about 2.5 innings. Breaking ball misses, 2-2. That one comes in and just barely hits Groves on the elbow. He'll take first.
Page thought he leaned into it a little bit, but I don't think he did. I think he was just kind of turning to get out of the way a little bit and still clipped him.
Now we've seen that called a few times this weekend of guys not getting out of the way. I believe it was actually Westminster was called for not actually getting out of the way and leaning into it, if you will. Nice block behind the plate by Vigil.
Boy, such a great game behind the plate by Vigil.
That one's on the ground and foul.
Yeah, big difference, by the way. Go back to that first inning, a wild pitch moved I and Pekka to second and third, which resulted in a sac fly, which moved both guys up, which brought in a run, and then a single brought in a run. So the wild pitches have been a factor. So there's been 4 on Webster's 0 so far against Vigil and Westminster.
Another one blocked by Vigil, and he holds the runner at first. And a little bit of a limp, it looks like, by Vigil as well.
I think he also took a foul tip late in that game. In game 1. Being a catcher, not for the faint of heart.
That one in the gap to right center. And that one's going to go off the wall. Into second as the throw will come towards the plate. It's a double for Wroblewski. And 2 in scoring position now for the Gorlocks.
Boy, he did not miss a home run by much. That was a line drive shot. I thought it had a chance to clear that short porch there in right center, and it just caught the base of it. He hits that about another, 3 feet. That ball probably just clears that fence.
I mean, it's got to be hard to actually hit that fence
Yeah.
on a line, and Wroblewski's able to do it.
That's probably the first dent on that padding out there in a while.
It's going to be another dent in the picnic perch down the right field line.
Well, they'll find that baseball when they open the Blue Moon patio bar. I think it bounced right into it.
1-1. Couple guys throwing for Westminster. Pretty much everyone that's out there is up and on the bands. Got a baseball in hand, doing something. The 1-1. Breaking ball just stays high. Strike on the inside corner.
I believe it's Dawson Willer that's playing catch down there in the bullpen for Westminster.
Saw him earlier today, I believe. The 2-2, breaking ball, strike 3 called. Page goes back to it and gets another strikeout.
Wow. I'm not sure if it was a strike or not, but he's been around the zone so much he gets the benefit and just froze Hippis. That was a beautiful 12-6 curveball.
That was really kind of too close to take, but as you said, it froze him with the breaking ball. Another one gets the swing and a miss by Hartz.
They've already left 5 on base, have the Gorlocks, and there's 2 more out there right now.
Strike on the corner. That might be another situation of it's close enough.
It was definitely good at the letters. It was just a matter of was it outside or not. But, boy, big momentum swing here potentially.
Outside, Virgil able to stop that one. It's got to be Uncle Charlie here, doesn't it?
I would think that's what he would go back to, but I'm not quite sure what that pitch was. That one might have been that.
A little bit of a delay because of something down the right field line. I'm not sure.
I don't know if there's 2 little kids over there. Maybe they were about to come over. I'm not sure.
Back to action here with the 1-2. Fastball just missed. Pekka had his hands in the air as he's running off the field in center as he has to turn around.
That was a good call. That one did miss outside. But it was a close take. I probably would have had to swing at that one to be safe.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 3-2.
All right, now 3-2. Conventional wisdom would tell you fastball, but I would go back to his breaking ball. It's been his best pitch.
That one, I think he just tried to throw in the dirt so much
Probably
to get the
overcooked
swing
that
and a
one.
miss, yeah. Instead of trying just to get it over the plate. Breaking ball, strike 3, no question about that one. As Page strikes out the side here in the 5th with 3 beautiful breaking balls. And the Gorlocks strand 2 in scoring position. We head to the 6th here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com. Wes Carter takes the mound for the second time in this tournament. He went 2 2/3, picked up the save against Westminster on Thursday in that 6-5 victory. And he'll be asked to go a few innings here again today. One would assume he will have Warren, Ballard, and Bowler due up here for the Blue Jays. Breaking ball misses with that one, 1-0.
No, it's not for the faint of heart how many chances Webster's had. They have left in this game seven runners on base.
Breaking ball into center field. No one's
boy.
there. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Warren will jog into second and take the leadoff double.
I thought he might have a chance at a triple. That's why I said, oh boy, the moment that ball was scorched in the center field, because you said that perfectly. They were playing him to right center, and he put that. If you had your center fielder playing in his typical spot, he might be able to catch that line drive if he got a good enough jump. But because he was shaded to right center, that's an easy leadoff double for Westminster.
It's almost like they were trying to take away the double or home run to right center. And Warren puts it right back up the middle. And if it wasn't going to be an out, it would have been a single.
Yeah.
But instead, it's a leadoff double. And a nice play made by the third base coach down the line. First base coach bobbled one, I believe, yesterday and got an earful from his dugout. So the third base coach made sure he was able to grab this cleanly. And I don't think the dugout said a word. Should at least been a cheer or something, right?
Maybe a sarcastic hooray cheer that they do when they score.
Yeah, they've had fun doing that this weekend. It was a called strike. They have scored more runs in the tournament than any team ever. They're at maybe, about 55 or so? Because they were at 50 when we said it. I think they added on a couple after that.
Yeah, they're around 54, 55.
That one just off the plate.
No argument from the Webster dugout on that one.
The 1-2. That one just a little bit low, 2-2. Maybe off the plate as well.
We've seen both sides try to really work that outside corner to righties.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Carter picks up the strikeout.
Yeah, went away, and then up at the letters on a fastball. Nice pitch there for the strikeout.
And it brings in Donovan Bowler. Shoots it out to left, but it's going to find the grass and out of play.
Bowler's had a nice tournament. Another 2 hits here in this one. He's doing that from the bottom of the order. That's where the Westminster has really separated themselves. Well, how do you end up with big games where you scored 20-plus runs? It's not necessarily all from the top. You got to get the bottom of the order produced, and they've been producing in this SLIAC conference tournament.
As Bowler on the ground to first, taken there by Wilt. And he'll go to the bag himself for the out. Moving over to third is Warren. And it brings in Ryan Vigil.
Well, I made reference to this a lot. Vigil, the junior from San Antonio, Texas. Not big-time hitter. Hit below at 107 on the year, but he came through twice in game 1 with an RBI single and a sac fly. Can he do it again?
3/4 swing on that one for strike 1. There's a strike, 0-2.
Definitely looking curveball there after he got fooled on it. So that was a decent pitch to hit.
And another 0-2. Swung on and missed. Carter comes in, gives up a leadoff double, but a strikeout, ground out, strikeout. Strands the runner at third. No runs to hit. The one left. We head to the bottom of the 6th here on SLIAC TV.
softball player here at Webster, and we put some care packages together for some servicemen. And as a family member of a service member, it's very important to me that they get the recognition they need, because they're so away from their family and friends, and it's just really important for them to know that they have a support system outside of just their family and friends, and that us as a nation, we really care about them and support them.
Ethan Wielt will lead things off for the Gorlocks in the 6th. First pitch swinging out to left. Bowler going back to the track, to the wall, jumps, it's gone! A leadoff first pitch home run of the 6th inning for Ethan Wielt, and we're tied at 3.
Boy, we were just talking about it in between innings. Webster has had plenty of opportunities. They've gotten a runner to second base in every inning. This time, no need to get a runner to second base. Just take the first pitch and get just enough on it into left for the game-tying home run.
Talon Hutchings to the plate. Thought about the first pitch, lays off for ball 1.
And I believe that's Wilt's 4th home run of the year.
Two and 0. There's a called strike, 2-1.
So I have got, by kind of going back through my scorecard here, and I think I've got this right, I've got Webster 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this game.
Great breaking ball there by Page. Yeah, it's hard to score runs and hard to win games going 1 for 9.
Yep. Now they did bring one home because of a sacrifice fly, but
That doesn't even count.
yeah, it just goes to show you how they've had the runner at second in every inning up until this point. And that's why that home run from Wilt almost kind of feels probably like a sigh of relief in that dugout. Take away some of that pressure as they tie it at 3.
3-2. Tipped into the mitt. Another strikeout here for Page. Last 4 outs have been with the strikeout.
Yeah, went back to his fastball. That's the pitch that he's been really trusting. That and the curveball been pretty good here today, but gets that foul tip in the mitt. Like you said, 4 strikeouts now for him.
Reaching for it on that one was Pelser. 0-1. Breaking ball 0-2.
Got to get Pelliser out of here in that 9 spot in the order. Since he's the weaker hitter on the group at 222.
Outside 1-2. If you can have bases empty facing Theodore and Moser, that's always a good idea. In the air, that won't be out of play. We'll do it again, 1-2. Oh, just missed with the breaking ball.
Good call. It was low. Dip beneath the knees there. Good take, though, by Pelliser.
The 2-2 from Page. Fall back over our heads. The 2-2. Outside 3-2.
Good pitch, better take, though, by Pelliser, because that started in the zone and then dipped out. Like you said, you don't want to lose him here and allow top of the order to have someone on.
Payoff. Pops him up. This one will stay on the infield over towards the dugout, and running back towards the field again is Vigil to make the play.
Whew. I was surprised Vigil was the one that called for it, because I thought that was going to be closer to Schlegel over there at first base, but good job to ditch the mask and find it and make that catch. That's not easy with that catcher's mitt, too. And with them going back to the top of the order, it looks like they don't want them to get a second look at Page, so it looks like a pitching change is coming up here for Westminster.
And we'll take a break. We'll be back here on SLIAC TV.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sports.
As Dawson Willard will take over here on the mound. Bottom of the sixth, no one on base. Now that one's taken low for ball one. Willard will face the top of the order here with Theodore if he can reach Mosier. Tied at 3 thanks to the home run by Wilt. That one's blasted down the left field line. Is that one going to hook foul? It will. I don't think it quite had the distance either.
It would have been close, man. Got a floater up there that he just crushed down that left field line.
The 1-1. Blasted this one as well. Back towards the pole. This one is fair, and it is gone. A home run for Theodore. He has to make sure he touches first. And now James will go through his home run trot, and now there's questions about whether this is. As Coach Bill Kirk is going to make sure he touches every single base. There he retraces his steps. He gets first base, and now he will go on the rest of the way around.
Say he kind of stumbled around first base, but I thought he went back and touched, but they'll just
So do
go
I.
and make sure.
Better be safe than sorry. Last thing you want is to think you just took the lead for Westminster to appeal to find out you didn't touch it at all.
And back-to-back pitches that were just floated up into the zone. And how about this? That's Theodore's first home run of the season.
Really?
And it might be the one that's the go-ahead home run ultimately.
There's a breaking ball for a called strike. That really surprises me with how good of a hitter he is, that he just hasn't been able to get into one before. Leads the team coming into this. That one's hit into left for a single. I'm not sure what the updated stats show, but he definitely led the team in average coming in.
He did lead, still does. And pitching change. They're going to the bullpen. So 2 batters. That was enough for Westminster to see of Willard, and they're going to go back to the bullpen already.
As we will take a break, we'll find out who's coming in for the Blue Jays when we get back here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com. Maddox Christianberry to the plate. Or not to the plate, to the mound, I should say, for the Blue Jays, as he will face Dalton Groves. Breaking ball. Gets the called strike.
How quickly this game has flipped on its head.
Pair of home runs in this inning. Pitch stays high. The throw down not going to be in time. And there's a stolen base for Mosier.
Mosier can run. 28 stolen bases on the year. Now gives him 29. Back up tied with Theodore, who had the lead for a split second after a steal in game one.
And the 1-1. That one's fouled away. And it's 1-2 on Groves. Now the 1-2. Outside, but just off the plate.
Vigil tried to pull that one back into the zone, but he didn't fool our home plate umpire.
Two and two here on Groves with 2 outs in the 6th. In the dirt, 3-2.
Want to try and keep this at a one-run game, get it back to your hot bats for the top of the 7th.
3-2. Outside. Ball 4 to Groves.
Big opportunity with runner in scoring position, 2 on.
Another meeting on the mound. No one was warming up,
They're going to the pen, it
but
looks
they
like.
argue it looks like they're going to go back to the bullpen. Jourdain is doing whatever he can to get an out. He's having a hard time finding it right now. They go back to the pen here on SLIAC TV as they trail by a run in the bottom of the 6th. Blake Althusius back to work. Not sure how he is able to move necessarily right now after a lot of pitches thrown earlier today.
Rubber band arm right there and left.
Must be half
With
of
the
this
lefty.
roster has a rubber band arms. That's tough for me to say. Misses with the first one.
He is the fourth pitcher of the inning.
That one's on the ground. Staying fair. Long throw across by eye. It's off the bag.
Boy, I'm not sure why he didn't just jog to third. I think he would have gotten there in time if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be an error that leads to...
No, they're going to give him a hit on that.
I'm still writing error. Because that play should be made over there at third base. He could have gone to the bag there and potentially get the runner at third.
Yeah, that's a long throw, though.
Well, I'm not concerned about the throw. I'm concerned about him not running to third. Now you load the bases.
That one stays high to Hippus. Two and 0.
This is arguably the biggest at-bat of the game here.
That one's outside 3-0. I wonder how long you go with Althusius here.
He's probably the guy that they're going to hope is going to eat at least an inning, I would think. At some point, you got to have somebody that's going to get you out of this inning.
And you hope you're still within reach at that point. That one misses. It's 4 straight out of the zone. And a 5-3 lead for the Gorlocks. As Mosier comes across. They're bringing in the 9th man to hit in the inning, Ryan Hartz.
Dawson Willard's line officially closed. 0 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned.
That one just missed.
Yeah, missed below the knees there. 9th batter of the inning. First time I think we've seen this today from the Gorlocks.
There's a strike, 1-1. Three runs on the board, but still without a hit with the men in scoring position. Or maybe a hit, but still not driven in.
It's just one hit, depending on how you count that one that put Robleski on base. Would be the second hit if you count that as a hit with a runner in scoring position. So they're either 1 for 10 or 2 for 10, depending on how you figure it.
One and 2 on Hartz. That one's chopped foul.
You can still see Vigil moving kind of
gingerly.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Because if you probably saw him go down during our timeout when we were muted. But during warm-ups here with Althusius, he threw one in the dirt that bounced, and it went up and under and caught Vigil in the crotch.
1 and 2. Up and away. And Vigil was kind of limping before that.
Yeah. That's why you don't want to be a catcher, folks. When they ask if anybody wants to volunteer, don't put your hand up.
Run to the outfield.
And hope someone else does, and then if they don't, hope you don't draw the short straw.
Two and 2 on Hartz with Wield on deck. He's already got a home run in this inning. He started off with a solo home run. That one goes off the glove. It's going to be 3 and 2, but it's going to be a run as diving across the plate on the wild pitch is Groves.
Boy, I would say pass ball. That one's got to be grabbed by Vigil there, and it brings in a run. Boy, that's a killer. That's the first one that we've really see get away from Vigil here today. So Maddox Chrisberry saw one batter. He walked him. That run is not earned.
That one's fouled away.
Well, if you're Webster, you probably are thinking we need more than 6 because of how well Westminster's bats have been swinging it.
3-2. That one's in the gap to right center field, right to the short porch. It's going to one hop over the wall. It will score a couple. And it's now a 7-3 lead for the Gorlocks.
Boy, the bats have finally woken up for the Gorlocks. About 2 innings ago, they had a huddle, and their coach was getting into them, trying to wake them up and get them going offensively. And they now finally have gotten the bats going, as that was a nice shot into the gap there, and they will now bat around. And to think Wilt's the one that started this with a solo home run.
I misspoke. It's 8-3. That one misses outside. Forgot to include the one on the pass ball. In the dirt, Vigil keeps that in front, 1-1. Swung on and missed.
He may have hurt himself. He may have tweaked his hamstring.
And time will be called.
Moment he swung one, he tried to kill the baseball, and then he reached back and kind of grabbed at that right hamstring after he took that swing.
Tells Coach, I'm good.
Coach is telling him, you better be 100% right because you don't want to make this worse to potentially miss regionals if we hang on to this game.
He says, I'm going to hit this one over the wall. I don't have to run on fast. Wield already has 2 hits in this game. A big one in this inning. That one's outside. 3-1.
No one's playing catch in the bullpen, so they need Althusius to get them out of this. They need to bring an end to the bleeding here.
I'm not sure if some of the other guys were playing catch either, though. So that one misses, and Wilt is on for the second time this inning.
Boy, and it's becoming crisis mode in the
He's going to get Wilt out because of that, or he's at least going to call the trainer out to talk to him, and Ethan's telling him, I'm still good. But to your point, don't want to possibly make it worse if you can win this and advance to regionals. It's a bat you need in the lineup. A little bit of a jog, trying to talk himself into staying in. Oh, he tried to sprint at it, and it tugged at him even more. And Coach's like, yep, told you so.
So it looks like we'll see a new first baseman coming into the game for the Gorlocks. That's a big injury for him. Hopefully, my hope is, though, that when he did that, too, he didn't make it worse. Like you said, he kind of pulled on that tug.
just tried to jog just to show he was good, and Coach wasn't satisfied enough with it. He wanted to see a sprint, and once he did that, you could tell it was painful for him.
They will bring on Matthew Lanier.
Saw Lanier at the end of the first game today. That one's a called strike. Swing and a miss there. 0-2. Hutchings has already struck out in this inning. You never want to make 2 outs in an inning. You definitely don't want to strike out twice in the inning. But the bright side is it means your offense did a lot of work in between. That one's thrown to the backstop. That one is definitely a wild pick.
Yeah, you're just getting to a point. I mean, you can even tell that Othusis is running on fumes. I'm surprised no one's playing catch in the pen because I'd be shocked if he could go out for another inning.
I think it might be this entire staff might be running on fumes right now. They've had that extra game to play coming through the loser's bracket. This one's popped up. Romero onto the outfield grass. Will squeeze it to retire the side. They do get 6 runs in the inning on 5 hits. They leave a couple on base. We go to the 7th. Tanner will tell you about it. Webster now on top 5 by 5.
Getting ready to start the top of the 7th. All of a sudden, Westminster is trailing as they are now down 8-3 here. They've got the top of the order coming up, though, as Romero, and Pekka will be the ones to lead things off. Carter's back out there for another inning of work. Worked around a leadoff double in the last inning. And first pitch swinging is Romero. It's a ground ball hit to short, thrown across the diamond, as Pelliser makes a nice play for the first out here in the 7th.
New first baseman over there. Lanier stays in to play first. Nice to get Romero down on 1 pitch.
Brings up and you can see the shadow starting to creep, by the way, up towards home plate. Sun is going to be a factor for the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder because they're going to be staring right into it as it's setting. It'll start to also become a little bit difficult for hitters at the plate as they'll be seeing the ball out of the sun into the shade.
But I think Theodore in center is still trying to hide his eyes from the sun as well.
And he's going to have to try and get to this one. He won't be able to as he'll cut it off in the gap as it's a 1-out single for And he's aboard for the 3rd time today. 3 singles in this one.
Yeah, Theodore was even shading that way. It was just too much on the line. Couldn't actually break. He broke on it, thought about it, and realized right away, I'm just going to have to play this one on a hop. No reason to try and do anything dramatic if you're Webster defensively right now. Just get the outs and make the plays that are in front of you.
That brings up Aiden Pekka. Pekka 1 for 3, single and a run scored. Made an excellent diving catch in right center earlier in the game. At the time, thought might be biggest moment of the game as he made that catch with a runner at second base to keep it a 3-2 lead in favor of Westminster at the time. One of those on the way. Nice little two-seamers in there for a strike. 1-1.
Just like when Warren was at the plate before and you had Theodore pretty much playing right center, it's the same situation here. The ball hit hard right up the middle. It's going to go all the way to the wall.
And it's shot the other way into right field for a base hit. Cutting the bag at second. I will dig into third. And back-to-back singles here for Westminster.
Second hit for Pekka. And we know these bats are not going to go quietly.
And it brings up Brett Montgomery. Montgomery homered in game 1. Like you said, these bats have been hot. They're not going to go away. Scored the most runs in a conference tournament. Got 10 hits here today. First pitch, Montgomery skies this one into deep right center field, but it will be caught at the warning track. It will be deep enough to bring home I from third, and it makes it 8-4. Montgomery just missed a home run by a couple of feet.
Yeah, that one was not robbed of a home run. It might look like it because of the short wall, but that definitely would have fallen a little bit shy of it. Just got underneath that fly ball, and Theodore able to settle underneath it. Gladly takes the out.
Brings up Cameron Schlegel. Schlegel 1 for 3 in this one. RBI single back in the first as he's late on the first pitch and fouls it out of play to the left side. Schlegel's been hitting it into the bullpen there where his teammates have been for most of the tournament.
I think they have been in that dugout every game, except maybe not the one last night.
As the 0-1 is chopped towards short to go high hop, tossed short to second base, as Pelliser will get the final out as he goes the short way. But one run comes across to score thanks to the RBI sac fly from Montgomery. It's time to stretch. We go to the bottom of the 7th in the SLIAC championship game. 8-4, Webster's on top here on SLIAC TV.
For the love of the game, that's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
New arm on the mound for Westminster. They're going to their starter from game 1 as Colin Wright's back out there. He went 4 innings through 56 pitches in that first game. Struck out 5, gave up 3 earned. First pitch swinging as this will be chopped out there to short. And it's fielded by Romero as he goes to first as Pellicer's out for the first out here in the 7th.
Not sure how his arm feels, but apparently good enough, and that will make it feel even better with the one-pitch ground ball.
Well, at this point in the SLIAC tournament, if that arm is attached to the body, you're good to go.
It sounded weird you coming back saying they're turning back to their starter. Yeah. It feels like softball. We're going to re-enter our starter after a couple innings off.
Theodore's going to try and bunt for a hit, but I got in on him. Nice play from the third baseman, as he fields on the run and tosses to first for out number 2.
That's a great bunt by Theodore just to get it down with that thing coming in on him. And it was just, I read it so well. He caught that on one hop and really able to easily throw out the speedy Theodore. 2 pitches, 2 outs. That helps.
Althusius line by way, third of an inning, a hit, 2 runs, no earned, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. That pitch is in there for a strike.
You're better than me, sir, because I would not be able to keep up with this many pitching changes.
And right now, Maddox Christianberry's the one that's on the hook for the loss if Westminster can't come back, as it's 0-2. For a strikeout here as Mosier's up at the plate. 0-2 pitch on the way. High fastball. Mosier's 1 for 4 today. Single in his last plate appearance and scored. Reached on an air back in the 3rd. He's come across the score twice. The 1-2. Breaking ball, chopped towards Romero at short. He fields on a couple of hops, fires to first, and a much-needed 1-2-3 inning for Westminster. As we go to the top of the 8th, they're running out of time. They've got 6 outs left, trailing by 4. 8-4 here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com. As we're getting set to start the top of the 8th, Caleb Warren will lead things off. Carter out there for his 3rd inning of work. He's first pitch swinging, late on that fastball. Warren so far today is 1 for 3 with a double. He doubled in his last plate appearance and then was stranded on 3rd. That pitch catches the zone for a strike. Just 1 hit with a runner in scoring position so far for Westminster. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. A disgusting sweeper that's fired in. And Warren strikes out swinging for the first out.
3rd strikeout for Carter since he came in, and you said that was absolutely disgusting.
Benno Ballard comes to bat now. He's 0 for 2, struck out swinging his last plate appearance, scored all the way back in the 2nd. First pitch, chopped towards short. Sliding on the backhand. Fields, throws, uses the turf, but it's not going to matter. Great effort by Pelliser, but it's going to be an infield single for Ballard as he's aboard here with one out.
Yeah, he had to go deep in the hole just to get to it. Went down, sliding to a knee. I think he's kind of struggled to get up a second. By that time, it was going to be a single for Ballard anyway.
Diamond Bowler comes to bat now. He's 2 for 3, grounded out to first in his last plate appearance. One thing I'll be curious about, Vigil is getting to the on-deck circle, but I wonder if they'll have him hit for himself while they're trailing. This could be 2 as it's a ground ball to short. Toss to second for 1, fired to first, double play. 6-4-3. And just like that, that single is erased, and Westminster goes down in order. They are down to their final 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Webster will look to add on some insurance runs when we come back on SLIAC TV. Ready to start the home half of the 8th. Dalton Groves will lead things off the DH here for the Gorlocks. First pitch swinging, and he finds the hole through the left side as it's going to be a leadoff single as the Gorlocks are hoping to add on some insurance runs here.
Very important here for Westminster to put up a 0. Keep this within 4. As I think they're going to get a pinch runner for Groves.
It looked like he was kind of hobbled going to first, so
He
maybe
kinda
that's
looks
part of the
hobbled
reason.
coming out.
Yeah, that's part of the reason he DH'd in this one instead of caught. So Jonah Taylor comes on to run.
Nice round of applause for Groves as he exits.
Yeah, good day for him in the championship game here. He was on base 4 times as he goes 2 for 3, double, hit by pitch, walk, and single. And it brings up Robleski now. Robleski is 1 for 3, and he swings and lines this into right center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding second is Taylor. He'll dig for third. And boy, you said it, Westminster needs to put up a 0 here, but it's going to be a tough task because there's runners at the corners and nobody out.
Well, Taylor, I hope you stretched before you came in because you just had to go first to third right away on that hit right back up the middle.
So runners at the corners, and we'll see if they have Robleski try and take second as a catcher. Be a little surprising. As it brings up Reed Hippis. Hippis 0 for 3 so far, and he's showing bunt at least for the time being. Might try the squeeze play with him. Takes it low for a ball, 1-0.
I could be wrong, but I think Webster may have won a championship on a safety squeeze before, just a few years ago. I'm getting a thumbs up from down the press box, so don't put it past Bill Kirk to do that in this situation. As we almost caught that bunt. That's not a good thing.
Gets bunted out of play.
Infield in now.
Yeah, Westminster knows they've got to cut down that run. The 1-1 bunted foul. Well, now it's decision time. couldn't get the bunt down, so see if they keep the side on. If you bunt it foul, 2 strikes, it's a strikeout.
And it's definitely a safety squeeze because once that one hit the ground, even though if it was foul, Taylor did take a couple extra steps off.
As the sacrifice fly goes out to right field there on that pitch from Hippis. And that's a killer for Westminster. Second RBI for Hippis in that one on the sacrifice fly, and that increases the lead to 9-4 as it brings up Ryan Hartz. He bounces that in the dirt. Broadcaster, I believe in transparency. If you want to know the truth, after that pitch came in, I thought it was your turn.
I kind of figured.
Wondered why you didn't say anything. Then
I was wondering why you weren't saying anything.
1-0 here. Pitch on the way. This one's a line drive, base hit into left field as it gets past the glove of the diving third baseman. Third hit of the inning here for the Gorlocks, and the bats have woken up at the right time. If Westminster can't come back, you got to give the pitching staff credit as a 5 seed. They have been excellent in the conference tournament up until today, when you can just tell most of these guys are running on fumes. As we've talked about, most guys that have come in here in this one have been guys that have pitched already as starters, not relievers, as starters for them. As first pitch swinging is Lanier as he misses.
Well, this is also their 5th game in 3 days. Not to mention they also played a quarterfinal on the road in Mississippi on Tuesday.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned give credit to the pitching staff for holding up as well as it has up until this point. Gave up 2 runs in that win against Mississippi University for women. They held Webster to 6, which is a pretty good accomplishment in the game on Thursday. Shut out Spalding, held Lyon to 5, held Webster just 3 in the last game. And it's been this one where the Gorlocks have gotten the bats going as that's fouled straight back.
And it was the 6th inning when they got the bats going. So it was even halfway through this game before that even happened.
It wasn't until that 6th inning when 6 runs came across the score for the Gorlocks. Most part they've been held checking. Even in that 3rd inning, 2 of those runs that came across the score we reached on errors. That's how they got on base on back-to-back errors by Romero. Dwight Archer has no earned runs next to his name. It's 1-2. Pitch on the way. Low, nice snag by Vigil. Vigil has been beaten to death in these 5 games. See him hobbling around. His legs are killing him.
Entire team's going to be in the ice baths later.
2-2. Pitch on the way, and he pulled it in. That hit him. Caught him on the leg. So the hit by pitch will load the bases. No argument from Westminster. So bases are loaded with only 1 out here in the 8th, and Webster is looking for the kill shot. And we're going to get a pitching change. Westminster going to look for some answers out of their bullpen. As we'll tell you about the pitching change when we come back. Bases loaded, only 1 out here in the 8th on SLIAC TV. Seventh bullpen arm for Westminster as the bases are loaded. One out here in the eighth. 9-4 is our score. Max Blackburn is the new arm that's on the mound for the Blue Jays. Blackburn's first pitch in at the knees for a strike. Talon Hutchings is the one that's up to bat now. Hutchings 1 for 3 today. Popped out to short his last plate appearance. Blackburn, a freshman from Jackson, Missouri. 0-1 in on the hands. It's a slow roller towards third. Fielded by the third baseman. Decides not to come home. He goes to first instead for out number 2. So it'll be an RBI ground out for Hutchings. Not sure why I decided not to go home with that one.
It even seemed like he looked home and then decided to go over to first. I'm not sure if Vigil was actually saying 1 or if he was saying 4. And with his mask still on, maybe I did not understand him.
So 2 outs now, second and third. 2 runs brought in. It's 10-4 now in favor of Webster. First pitch in there for a strike, as this is Charlie Pilser that's up to bat. Pilser is 0 for 4. Oh, 1 swung on and missed. 0-2. On the way. Strike 3 is called. It catches the corner. Nice work from Blackburn in relief as he sits down the 2 guys he sees, but 2 runs come across to score. The Gorlocks lead it 10-4. They are 3 outs away from capturing their 14th SLIAC Conference Tournament Championship, and James will tell you about it when we come back here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
Bryowski to the plate for Westminster. He will hit for Vigil. Takes that one for a called strike.
Yeah, I figured that we'd see a pinch hitter for Vigil.
Inside for a ball.
Webster trying to be back-to-back champions. You talk about it in break.
2-1.
Won the championship last year. They didn't have to lose a game, though. They went straight through, beating Westminster 8-4, then Spalding 2-0, then Mississippi University for women 13-5.
I think it's been a couple years since we've actually had to play this second game on Saturday. Now, Spalding got it the 2 years prior to last season, and that stopped Westminster run, or Webster run. There's a ground ball to third. Up and over is Hippus for the first out. And it brings in Romero.
How about the work, by the way, from Carter here in relief? He's only allowed 4 hits and only 1 run allowed. And he came in at a time in which they were trailing 3-2.
He will get the win as long as they hold on to the 6-run lead. First pitch to Romero, a called strike. Romero 0 for 3. He does have a sac fly. All the way back in the second. That one just a little bit up and away. 1-1.
Not sure where that one missed.
Webster looking to add on to their SLIAC record, 13 championships.
I think that hit on iPad.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
I think that whoever that was that had the iPad had it hanging outside as he went to duck. He didn't pull it back in time.
Just like pulling the bat down when the pitch comes inside. Needs to be the first instincts. The 1-2. Just off the plate. That one was not off by much.
Didn't miss by much, but it was outside.
On the ground, just past Carter and into center field for a hit. Romero limping down to first and definitely not going to test it there as he's on with the 1-out single.
And they're going to run for him out there at first base.
Well, it gets the senior a nice ovation as well from the Westminster faithful. They've been doing a lot of standing ovations because of the pitching staff doing their work. And Romero definitely deserves to have one as well. And I think they forgot to send someone out to run. Washburn will run at first for Romero. Might see a few more pinch runners if guys can reach. It's really been the same exact 9 that Westminster puts out there every game, and that one past a diving Hutchings and into center field, back-to-back hits.
And I don't know if the pinch running for Romero was necessarily all about just getting him an ovation. I think part of it was he's clearly compromised as he tweaked that hamstring in game 1.
But Romero being a senior, so also last game able to give him the ovation. I will be back next year. Pekka at the plate now will be back next year as well. It's got to feel good for Romero to at least have a hit in your final at bat.
Not a bad way to end the collegiate career.
And he had a good tournament.
Yeah, I would assume he'll be on the all-tournament team.
There's a lot of Westminster guys that are probably going to be on that all-tournament team. There's a called strike. That's another guy that could be on it just for his defense alone, Aiden Pekka. 1-1.
Yeah, made one of the best catches out in right center on a diving effort. Best catches I've seen in years.
And definitely the play of the tournament. Thought about it. They'll check. No swing. 2-1. On the ground to second. Can they turn it? Hutchings to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get.
Oh, Pekka might be hurt now, too. Pekka
Yeah,
may have pulled something on his way down the first base line there.
He was busting it to try and avoid that double play. Coach is out of the dugout to check on his center fielder. Yeah, I think Coach was trying to tell someone to grab a helmet, as it will be Colin Yost out to run for Pekka. It's the 5 games in 3 days that we mentioned. Now you include the long night last night, the heat of today. So some of these could actually just kind of be cramping as well.
Yeah.
Montgomery takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, a lot of baseball in 3 days to be played.
And then he left Monday night or Tuesday morning to go to Mississippi. They might have returned home to Fulton before coming here to O'Fallon.
Yeah, I would bet that they did go back home for a couple days.
Well, would
Or
have been
a
for
day,
about
I guess.
a day, maybe less than. The 2-0 in there for a called strike. Stick around post game. We will have the announcements of the tournament team, all conference teams, up the middle. And Westminster is not done yet. Montgomery with an RBI single. His 3rd RBI of the game to go along with a pair of sac flies as Washburn scores.
Montgomery's had a good tournament and a really good day as well. Homered in game 1, drove in 3 here in this one.
Been on base all 3 times, plus the 2 sac flies.
Not a bad way.
2 for 2.
And not a bad way to finish it.
Schlegel down the left field line, but foul. And how important do those 2 runs look now?
Insurance run helps out a ton.
Otherwise, it'd be 8-5, and this guy represents your tying run.
Yep.
The 0-1. There's a called strike, 0-2. Outside to Schlegel. Warren waits on deck, hoping to get a chance. And Schlegel fouls it off. The 1-2. That one's in there, and it will get out of play.
Open catcher took off sprinting the other way. Make sure he got out of the way of his teammate.
I think it was a catcher and
The guy protecting the catcher.
the one in charge of protecting. That sometimes don't really do the best job. We'll do it again, 1-2. Outside, 2-2. And a 2-2. Schlegel on the ground to first. Lanier over to the bag. And the Gorlocks are back-to-back SLIAC champions. And for the 14th time in program history, they have won the conference tournament. They've gone regular season and tournament champions here in 2026. As they celebrate near first base. A 10-5 victory thanks to a 6-run 6th inning.
Yeah, what a big inning that was, and congrats to the Gorlocks on winning the SLIAC tournament. Back-to-back champions, as you said, and they have become the class of the SLIAC conference. They are always one that you can put in pen will be here for this conference tournament here in O'Fallon, Missouri. You can always put in pen that they're probably going to be in the conference championship, and they can know that they will be dancing beyond this weekend. They will be in the NCAA tournament and be at the regionals next weekend. And they'll just have to wait the announcements on Monday to see who they will be playing and where they will be going. But great job by them. And like you said, it was really just that one inning that they really were able to open this one up. 6 runs, 6th inning with 2 home runs in the inning. Home runs from James Theodore, which ended up being a huge shot for them, and the 4th home run of the year for Ethan Wilt before he had to leave the game to injury. Losing pitcher in this one was Dawson Willard as he drops to 0-2. Winning pitcher Wes Carter, who, by the way, was very good in his 4 innings of work, he picks up the win and improves to 6-0.
And this is probably exactly how Coach Kirk expected it to go, with having Armbrust to start and Carter just to go as long as he could and finish it off. We kind of thought he might do it earlier today, but he saved it for this game, and it worked out for him as he is yet again tournament champions. And they will find out, I believe it's Monday, where they go, but we will turn it over to Kyle Jones, the public address announcer, once they get the banner and awards all situated. And we'll carry all of that for you here as they will go through tournament team, first team all conference, second team, third team, player of the year, pitcher of the year, coach of the year, all of that we've been saying all weekend long will, I don't want to say officially announced because it was officially announced on like Wednesday, but they will get their plaques and photos taken here on this Saturday evening.
Yeah, and congrats to all those players that ended up making the all-conference teams. That's something that's very special. And we were just talking about Webster. Give credit to Westminster. They were looking to be the first 5 to win the conference championship since 1999. And they came in, they won in the quarterfinals. They put together some really good runs here in this one. Their bats were unbelievable. The pitching was good up until they ran out of fumes here. And that's the disadvantage of getting into the loser's bracket, right? You have to play 2 games yesterday. Meanwhile, Webster played just 1. So they had a game advantage ahead where they didn't have to use as many arms as Westminster did. But give credit to them because they were a team that you probably wouldn't have expected to get to this point. 11-13. They were below 500 in the SLIAC regular season. They were below 500 overall, and they wrap up their year 19-26. And they pushed Webster. They had them maybe starting to question it a little bit in this game because they were up 3-2 until that big inning that we saw Webster explode for the 6 runs. But give credit to Westminster. They went on a heck of a run here that they're going to remember for a while. I know it didn't end up in the result they were looking for to get them to regionals, but they should be able to look back on this performance in a couple of years or a couple of days and be able to say, you know what, we had quite the exciting run in the SLIAC Conference Tournament.
Yeah, the closest game that we saw all tournament long was the very first one here on Thursday when these two teams met, and it was a 6-5 final. That at that point you could see Westminster was here to play, so it wasn't all that surprising that they were able to come through the losers bracket. The amount of runs that they put up might have been the surprising part, as they did set a new tournament record for runs scored, as they were into the mid-50s of runs scored here in these last 3 days.
Yeah, and to that point, they were a team that averaged 8 runs per contest, and average was definitely up there beyond that here in this SLIAC Conference Tournament. By the way, Carter got his final line for you while we wait for the rewards, as he picked up the win. 4 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, as he picked up the win in the contest here today to help get Webster to regionals, which will be next weekend. And like you said, Monday is when they will make the announcements and see where they are going. For the Gorlocks, kind of took care of business, right? 21 conference wins, as we mentioned in Game 1, most since 2021. They were the class of this conference. That just continues to be the case. As you said, back-to-back conference champions, back-to-back regular season champions here in the SLIAC. Be fun to see if they're able to do anything once they get into regionals. Last year they won a game before eventually going home.
They hosted last year. They did not put in for a bid this season, so they will definitely be on the road. There was some talk of possibly in the Washington University bracket, so they could actually stay at home and play. But obviously, that's just speculation from the athletic department and people in the conference of where historically they might send some teams, and they do like to keep it semi-regional.
Yeah, especially for the first round, the regionals. Yeah, last year they got to it after winning the conference tournament, and they ended up winning their first game 13-2 before eventually losing to Belhaven University, and then Milwaukee School of Engineering sent them home on a 4-2 final. And last year, of course, like you said, they hosted out at SIUE. We're home of Division I Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville out there at Roy Ely Field. So it'll be interesting to see where they end up going in this tournament and see if they're able to go on a bit of a run. I mean, you look at the lineup, and we talked about it. They had a lot of guys that were all conference. They had, I believe, 4 pitchers that were all conference. Not sure what they're looking at.
I don't know, maybe the video of the final out, or maybe the celebration as they brought the jugs out and dumped ice and water on each other. I'm not sure how much water was still left in any of those.
Yeah, they took out the catcher with them, too, I know. Catcher went tumbling to the ground. I think they're just waiting on Westminster to break their team huddle so they can get going on the award, so those guys can come and get their hardware as they continue to have their kind of final moment as a team. While the seniors kind of starting to hit home on this is their final time on a baseball field as they head off to the working world.
At least you would think, especially on the competitive level.
And a big shout out as well, by the way, for the O'Fallon Hoots hosting this tournament. This beautiful ballpark that the O'Fallon Hoots have out here. So we're at Carshield Field in O'Fallon, Missouri. They did a great job hosting for these 3 days. The turf really helped keep us going yesterday in that pouring down rain. So they were able to keep us going so we could get the final score of that game between Lyon and Westminster. If we were on a typical dirt field, I don't think we would have gotten very far in that game, partner.
We might have gotten to the fourth.
2/3 of an inning, maybe.
But going back with Webster and you saying see if they can make a run, you mentioned the offense. Their pitching is there as well. We know they got 3 big arms that they can rely on to start and give them length. And then if you got Carter coming out of the bullpen as well, throwing how he did today. But the regional set up just like this tournament, so it's a possibility of as many as 5 games in 3 days, which is just something these teams are not accustomed to. It's normally 3 games in 2 days with a single game and then a doubleheader during conference play.
It's just too hard in these tournaments, especially if you end up being in the loser's bracket because of that extra game. It's ultimately what is going to cost Westminster, the fact that they had to continue to burn multiple arms. That's the part that really killed them here today. As you said, they just really ran out of fumes here.
I don't know if Coach was in the dugout. I'm not sure if he really realized that we were waiting for them. But it looks like we are good that we will turn it over for this.
We turn things over to the PA announcers. We get the all-conference awards, all-tournament team, and we hand out the trophy for the SLIAC Conference champions.
We will start by presenting the 2026 regular season champions to Webster University. Now let's recognize the conference value on sportsmanship. The recipient of the 2026 Baseball Sportsmanship Award, Principia College. As we move forward to recognizing individual student athletes, we ask the individuals being honored, please step to a side for a quick photo. Continuing to recognize the importance of sportsmanship, our next honor will be recognizing one individual from each conference team, selected by their coach, who throughout the season best displays the ideal of sportsmanship. The 2026 Baseball Sportsmanship team is as followed. From Blackburn, Cody Moore. From Eureka, Camden Smith. From Greenville, Parker Milligan. From Lyon, Caleb Collins. From MUW, Griffin Fuller. From Principia, Logan Cady. From Spalding, Joshua Wilmot. From Webster, Ryan Hartz. From Westminster, Donovan Bowler. Now to recognize the 2026 All-Conference team, starting with the third team honors. Pitcher from Greenville, Jonathan Bowser. Pitcher from Lyon, Rocco Boyle. From Spalding, Holden Kaplinger. Catcher from Lyon, Cooper McCoy. Infielder from Lyon, Ashton Compton. Infielder from Greenville, Joshua Guzman. Infielder from Webster, Reed Hippis. From Webster, Braden Trissel. Outfield from Spalding, A.J. Lopez. Outfielder from Lyon, Eli Marcotte. Outfielder from MUW, Matthew Whitham. And designated hitter from Lyon, Slade Inman. Now to recognize the second team All-Conference honorees. Pitcher from Webster, Wes Carter. Pitcher from Webster, Carter Hunt. From Spalding, Caden Kristoviak. Catcher from Webster, Dalton Groves. Infielder from Webster, Talon Hutchings. Infielder from Greenville, Snyder Pennington. Infielder from Webster, Ethan Wilt. Infielder from Principia, Dean Wood. Outfielder from Spalding, Caleb Coffey. Outfielder from Webster, Adam Mosier. Outfielder from Westminster, Aiden Pekka. Designated hitter from Webster, Nick Rablewski. And utility player from Spalding, Jesse Walter. And now the 2026 St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic All-Conference First Team honorees. From Webster, Colt Armbrust. Pitcher from Webster, Ryan Greifeld. From Spalding, Cameron Rayborn. Catcher from Spalding, Logan Strong. Infielder from Westminster, Braden I. Infielder from Lyon, Tyler Hahn. Infielder from MUW, Chase Marshall. Infielder from Westminster, Troy Romero. Outfielder from Lyon, Braden Bramlett. Outfielder from MUW, Zach Johnson. Outfielder from Webster, James Theodore. Designated hitter from MUW, Baron Brack. And utility selection from Blackburn, Royce Kanji. And now let's recognize the 2026 SLIAC Coach of the Year from Webster University, Bill Courage. This year's Freshman of the Year from Webster University, Colt Armbrust. The 2026 SLIAC Pitcher of the Year from Spalding University, Cameron Rayborn. Our final individual award is presented to the individual selected SLIAC as the 2026 Player of the Year from MUW, Zach Johnson. We ask that you keep your attention on the field so we can recognize the 2026 All-Tournament team. From Greenville, Joshua Guzman. From Spalding, Cameron Rayborn. From Lyon, Ashton Compton. From Westminster, Donovan Bowler. Also from Westminster, Cameron Slagle. From Webster, Ethan Wilt. Also from Webster, Wes Carter. Have a good real suspense there too, you know? And our final all-tournament player and the most valuable player of the 2026 SLIAC tournament from Webster, Nick Wroblewski. And now, the 2026 SLIAC Baseball Tournament Champions, Webster University.
As there you have Webster getting the trophy and the banner that they will take photos with here and get t-shirts as well. Congratulations to all the all-conference selections, the tournament team selections, both these teams for making it this far. Gorlocks of Webster for yet another conference championship season. And we'd like to thank Buzz Swanson, Jim Plyman, Tanner Hendrickson for their help this weekend as well. I'm James O'Sullivan signing off here as the Webster Gorlocks are the 2026 SLIAC Baseball Champions.